Well, Schrock Innovations has won Best of Omaha and Best of Lincoln.
In this week's Compute This, another win, though this one's a little bit different.
It is. Back today, the owner of Schrock Innovations, Thor Schrock.
Nice
Good morning,
to
Thor.
see you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, we're going to talk some good stuff today about the awards, but there's also some other big news.
Yeah, and I'm a little punchy. So when I don't get a lot of sleep,
a little tired.
if I slip or stutter or something, no, I'm not my usual smooth self.
Well,
Were you up all night tying one on?
Congratulations.
Weren't you getting any sleep?
Well, my wife and I were blessed with a beautiful little baby girl. Yeah, she's amazing. We've had her home now for 3 days. With
And
today's
there
day
she
4.
is.
Catherine
Schrock, that's right. And that flower is about as big as her head. She came out, she's a little peanut at 6 pounds, 2 ounces, and 19 inches long. So she's absolutely amazing. I have to tell you, for those of you watching who've never had children before, to actually, my son, I didn't have the bravery to watch the birth. Like, I stood behind the action and held hands and did stuff like that.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
The wife's head.
This time I'm like, I may never see this again in my life. I'm going to see this, right?
Yeah.
And it was just, most guys are, I guess, supposed to be grossed out by it. It was the most amazing experience. I mean, I was starting to cry. It was just absolutely amazing.
It is incredible.
So,
And then to have a little girl at home, because you've already got a boy.
yeah, the odds are stacked against me now. We got my wife and a little girl and me and a little boy, so we were trying to, we had an advantage for so long.
Women
now.
always win.
Yeah, women
You
count
know
for
that.
1.5. So I mean, it's not going to be good. We're not going to do well over time.
But it's
I don't
best
think.
that you realize that early, so that just throw in the towel now instead of fighting it for years and then realizing.
Well, my mother-in-law texted me and she said, "Are you wrapped yet?" And I'm like, "Wrapped? What, are they supposed to wrap me? What do you mean?" And she goes, "Wrapped around your finger." And I'm like, and I was like, "No, not yet, not really." And then like 2 hours later, I'm like, "Okay, I'm wrapped."
It didn't take that
Didn't
long.
take long.
Doesn't
That's
take
great.
long at all.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us about this Business to Business Award. How's this different from the Best of Omaha?
Yeah, well, basically there are 2 Best of Omaha awards. There's the consumer version and the business version. Obviously, the consumer version, which we won a few months back, is Best of Omaha for computer repair and computer services. So of the people that we helped, they voted, and to vote in this is pretty complicated. Actually, you had to go to the Best of Omaha website, and you had to vote for like 20-something categories. So it wasn't like you could just say, "Go vote for us," and you could fill out one ballot and win. But the business to business is even harder, actually, because the only way you can vote in it is through the ballot that's printed in Omaha Magazine. So you have to have a business person who has the time to sit down and tear out the ballot and fill it out and mail it in.
The subscribers, really.
Yeah, exactly. And so we never really. It was the first, we won it last year, and it was a huge surprise because, with the Best of Omaha, we're like, vote for us in Best of Omaha, But in the business to business one, I didn't even know the award existed, and they called us up and said we won it, and I thought it was a mistake. Like, didn't we win this like a few months ago? No, this is a whole different one. But
B2B.
it definitely, it's something for my team to be really proud of. The website development team, the corporate services team. We don't talk a lot about that here on the air because, it's a business service, and I'm sure there are business owners that watch the Morning Blend, but we talk a lot about consumer stuff and updating your Java and everything like that. But it's nice to have that. Awards are nice. The awards are a benchmark of past performance. I always tell my team that it's okay to be happy about this. We can have a little yay parade and have some Mr. Good Sense for lunch and everything, and a little celebration.
Going all out.
But it's a measure of past performance. So don't let this go to your head, because if you want to win it next year, what you're doing right now determines if you're going to win next year.
So what services do you provide to businesses that maybe not necessarily work for consumers?
Yeah, well, imagine when your computer at home breaks down, that feeling you get when you don't have Facebook for a few days. Imagine you're a business and your computer breaks down and you can't do business for a few days, and you still have to meet payrolls, you still have to pay taxes, all that stuff. Well, Schrock Innovations has a couple of major business-to-business services. The oldest one that we have is our corporate services division. One of the biggest challenges for small businesses is finding a way to have their IT costs budgeted. Because when you're a small business and you got like 5 or 10 computers in your office, you don't have a line item in your budget that says this many computers will break down.
Yeah, and you're not going to hire somebody to be there full time.
Yeah, you can't afford it.
I mean, you can't keep them busy.
Exactly. Why would you do that? And then of course you've got a friend of a friend that's helping you, and he's out at the bar one night when your computers crash,
Right.
and whatever. But with the corporate services division, we offer a package that allows a business to actually firmly budget. This is how much we're going to need, worst case scenario, for computer services. It comes out to about $175 per computer per year.
And
so,
then,
it's very, very affordable.
What about website? Because I want to touch on that too.
Yeah, website is probably the single largest driver of our growth. In fact, I'm not supposed to do this in media yet, but I can say I was tired. But we are splitting off our website development division. It used to be just Schrock Innovations, web development services. The demand has gone up so much because what we do is actually a lead generation style of development. So when you get a website from us, it's not just a brochure that looks really great and talks about your company.
It's all custom.
Yeah, it's all custom, and we sit down and say, what do you do if you're a plumber, if you're an auto repair guy, what do you do to get customers? And then let's replicate that on your website so that your website can take the place of that expensive yellow page ad. And so we're saving businesses thousands of dollars a year and driving tons of traffic and customers in. It's grown so much that we've had to launch Schrock Interactive now. A whole new division of Schrock Innovations. We hired a couple more people, so we're adding some jobs, doing some things like that. So it's going really well, but that's probably the biggest driver to that survey.
Here's some information about Schrock Innovations. Schrock Interactive, I imagine you could call any of these numbers and get information about that too. So Village Point South, next to Mr. Good Sense for that lunch. And then we also have Papillion, and then the original location of Schrock Innovations in Lincoln. So 3 physical locations, but then also a strong online presence at SchrockInnovations.com and on Facebook, where Thor's always putting up special offers, tips. I think it's a page worth liking if you like to know stuff.
We're going to be giving away
money.
a lot of stuff on our Facebook page this month.
Throughout the month of February.
Well, we're going to do it every day in February, but January 31st I was a little predisposed, and then February 1st it was kind of the last thing on my mind, and then I started to have to respond to emails, and people are like, "What's wrong with you? You just had a baby and you're responding to customer emails." And, well, I'm the guy. I just sit here and I get to hold once in a while and feed once in a while, and then I have long periods of downtime, so I can get some stuff done.
The busiest guy in Omaha right there.
Thank you, Thor. Again, congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
coming. Well, calling certain students of a certain school, past and present schools, because the school is planning one big reunion.
That's right, and parents know just how fancy Nancy Clancy is. She's now featured in some chapter books. I'll chat with author Jane O'Connor about that after the break.